This is the L2C Media Network, and this is Sports Final for December 1st, 2021. It's a Wednesday. I'm Harry von Stuttgart. Sorry for the belch. We are always sponsored by the L2C Media Network, and we give you sports with a little fun. How little? How fun? Oh, you ain't seen nothing yet. Now, with the details of the headlines that made the sports world sing, here's Steve. All right. Thank you, Harry. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the broadcast. Oh, boy, do we have some woo woos tonight. And I guess I got to haul out the garbage. We'll explain. But right now, let's. Something's happening here. Okay, let's hit the button. Thank you. Whoa, psychedelicus. All right. Okay, enough of that. Let's hit the button and get going. Let's do this, and it won't hurt. Anyway, time now to get with it. It's time for a little our basketball segment. And we start first with the men's college basketball. That's right. We get to the men's college game. Do we? Yes, we do. We want to make sure we get it all here. Let's do it. Come on, guys. Come on. Okay, let's get first to the women's game. We'll do women, men's, and NBA and G League. That's how we do it here on this. And, well, we have a lot to tell you about. Unfortunately, we may be having a short stack of things. We'll explain all that to you in a bit of a moment as we try to get things going. Nike balls. All right. Okay. Having our little tech issues here. Let's push the buttons correctly. There we go. Now there we are. Okay. All right. Here we go. Stand up straight. Sit down. Come on. I push scores. Let's get to scores. Come on. If you're not going to help us, we will be delayed. Okay, let's just do it this way then. Grr. All right, time now for the ladies basketball scoreboard. All of our scores sponsored in part by, actually presented to you by, Caesar Sportsbook. Remember, we are all Caesars. And let's do it here. Number 11, Tennessee defeated Tennessee Tech 76-48. Number 15, Texas over Jackson State 78-64. 16th ranked Kentucky over West Virginia 83-60. 17th ranked Texas A&M over Little Rock 65-50. UC Davis over 18th ranked Oregon 64-57. Syracuse over 18th ranked Ohio State 97-91. Princeton fell over number 22 Florida Gulf Coast 58-55. Yay, Princeton. And finally, number 23 Oregon State over Pacific College 76-72. That was the ladies. And how about the men? Yes. Let's get the men's scores correctly. Yes, indeed. We must do that. And let's punch up. Thank you. Oh, boy. There we go. Here we go with the men's basketball scoreboard. And early in the first, it's number 20 ranked USC over Utah, 5-4. Final scores. Fifth ranked UCLA over Colorado, 73-61. Sixth ranked Villanova over Pennsylvania, 71-56. 10th ranked Arkansas over Central Arkansas, 97-60. Utah Valley in overtime beat 12th ranked BYU, 72-65. Oklahoma over 14th ranked Florida, 74-67. Georgia was on 18th ranked Memphis's mind, but they still beat them, 82-79. Georgia. 19th ranked Iowa State over Arkansas Pine Bluff, 83-64. There, stand up. 21 ranked Auburn over UCF, 85-68. Number 22 ranked Michigan State over Louisville, 73-64. 23rd ranked Wisconsin over Georgia Tech, 70-66. North Carolina over 24th ranked Michigan, 72-51. And 25th ranked Seton Hall over Wagner by a score of 85-63. Give me about a few moments here. I gotta pick up something that fell. Yeah, can you get it? Yeah. Gotta pick up the Papajuiwa. We got a prop to pick up, so we pick it up and we place it over here. Okay, that was easy, wasn't it? Yep. And best of all, it didn't hurt. Okay, so we go from A to B to a little GG. And we mean the G League is next, followed by the NBA. That's right. Let's pop her up a bit. Oh, there you are. Okay, thank thee. Let's go to the next month. All right. Here are the scores from tonight's action in the G League, sponsored or presented by Gatorade, the thirst quencher. Agua Caliente Clippers over the Salt Lake City Stars, 116-108. And the Windy City Bulls barely squeaked out a win over the Wisconsin Herd, 102-101. And there you go on that side. So what's left? Simple. The NBA. So let's get over to the hardwood. No, we don't want that. We want the hardwood. We want the NBA. Thank you. Let's get all the scores of the NBA. Tell you right now, the lone game that is still going on, it's hit the half. It is the Sacramento Kings 62, the Clippers 52. Let's go for some finals, shall we? Thank you. Final score is Hawks over the Pacers, 114-111.
Big holiday shopping at Amazon, so now they're free to become.
Thank you. Let's try again. Atlanta Hawks over the Indiana Pacers, 114-111. Orlando Magic over the Denver Nuggets, 108-103. Washington Wizards over the Minnesota Timberwolves, 115-107. We got a block out there. Thank you. Cavaliers, Cleveland Cavaliers over the Miami Heat, 111-85. Boston Celtics over the Philadelphia 76ers by 1, 88-87. The defending NBA champion Milwaukee Bucks taken on the chin, but still win over the Charlotte Hornets by a score of 127-125. Dallas Mavericks over the New Orleans Pelicans, 139-107. And the Rockets' red glare boomed the Thunder of Oklahoma City, 114-110. Wow. Was that fun or what? I know. Or what? Aha. That's your basketball secciones. By the way, we are 15 minutes away. And we're going to do something here. that is highly tacky, tasteless, and rather disgusting. No, we're not belching. We are going to check. Yeah, right there, folks. Thank you. We're going to keep an eye on the clock right now. We are 14 minutes away from a lockdown. No, not Mr. Not Mr. Biden. No. This is a baseball lockout. In fact, at midnight tonight, if negotiations do not continue, the lockout will be official at midnight. So we are keeping our eyes on the clock in New York City, and we're keeping our eye on the MLB network. And if it gets too much, we will let you know. But right now, it don't look good for baseball fans right now. We'll just put it this way. But let's get to the NHL. Let's get to our hockey, and then we'll go to the headlines, etc. But miracles can happen. Anyway, speaking of miracles, in the National Hockey League, at the end of two periods, the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim have a 2-puck lead over the Vegas Golden Knights, 4-2. Final scores. Well, actually, not this one's not final score. It's intermission. Penguins and Oilers are tied at 2. That game is New York Rangers over the Philadelphia Flyers, 4-1. Toronto Maple Leafs over the Colorado Avalanche, 8-3. And in a shootout, the Detroit Red Wings are getting back into a more winning spring of things, 4-3 in a shootout over the Seattle Kraken. Now let's attend to some things in the Rangers-Flyers game. Whoa, geez. We need a bigger room. There we go. Okay, here are the Molson 3 stars in the Flyers and Rangers game. Shesterkin for the Rangers, 33 saves. Trouba, New York Rangers, 1 goal. Kakko for Rangers, 2 assists. Meanwhile, the Maple Leafs swept the Molson 3-star selections. Matthews, 3 goals. Tavares, 1 goal, 2 assists. And Nylander, 1 goal, 1 assist for Toronto. Meanwhile, was somewhat of a semi-split vote for the 3 stars in the Seattle-Detroit game. Raymond for Detroit, 1 goal. Fabry for Detroit, 1 goal. And Donato for Seattle, 2 goals. Let's check now with our minor league folk. That means we go to the American Hockey League, first of all. Huzzah! And let's get to the scores of the games that matter a lot. And they do, too. I will state that for a fact. Let's get going here. Right now, at the end of 2 periods, Abbotsville Canucks and the Ontario Reign are tied at 3. Springfield Thunderbirds and the Hartford Wolfpack were postponed, as were the Syracuse Crunch and the Rochester Americans, as too were the Bakersfield Condors and the Stockton Heat. Utica Comets beat the Belleville Senators 2-0, and the Texas Stars took out the Laval Rocket in overtime by a score of 4-3. Meanwhile, the Rockford Ice Hogs defeat the Milwaukee Admirals 3-1. That's the American Hockey League. Let's take you now to the more sufficiently fun Ontario Hockey League. And only one game that was played. It was postponed. The game between the Sioux and Sudbury were postponed for some reason. We just don't know. So that is it. Hey, Dandelion Fluff, how are you, my friend? Let's see here. How are you, my friend? Hope everything is well. And a light night of hockey We had most postponements in the AHL. Meanwhile, the Ontario Hockey League had a big one, and it was the only game scheduled for tonight. So we're also on lockout watch, and right now we are at the 9-minute mark. I'm glad you're doing pretty good. I'm doing okay myself. Uh, I'm doing okay. Let me check. Yep, doing okay. The heart's beating like a big brass band, and everything is working itself out. So there you go, right there in a nutshell. Let's get you some headlines so we can have at least something to gabulate here before everything else just goes into le toiletto. Now, it must be terrifying for other NBA teams that Charlotte Hornets point guard LaMelo Ball has gotten this good this quickly when he was drafted with the third overall pick in 2020. His slight frame and unorthodox style of play were supposed to create a learning curve that would eventually pay off without necessarily producing immediate results. Well, you could throw all that out the window. LaMelo is a star, period. Ball announced his presence with authority on Wednesday night, going toe-to-toe with arguably the league's best player, Giannis Antetokounmpo, in a duel that neither will soon forget. On the defending champion's home, a career-high 36 points, including 8 three-pointers, also a career high. Now collecting 9 assists, 5 rebounds, and 3 steals for the game. He also knocked down a cold-blooded contested three-pointer to tie things up with just under 6 seconds remaining. The play now shows Ball's improved three-point shooting, up 39% from 35 last season, and his willingness to take big shots, but also shows his intelligence. Well, despite the fact his father has got a big mouth. Trailing by 3 with under seconds left, Ball knew that the Bucks would look to foul if he dawdled too long with the ball, so he rose up into his shot motion almost instantly before Pat Connaughton could even think about fouling him and buried the clutch contested three-pointer. Unfortunately for the Hornets, the Bucks still had time left on the clock for Mr. Antetokounmpo to work his magic. The reigning Finals MVP drove through the lane, contorted his body, and made a thorough reverse layup with 2 seconds left. Bucks win it 127 to 125. And we go on. By the way, congratulations to Tennessee. They did okay this time. Yes, they did. As the clock continued to go before the baseball lockout begins, the Chicago Cubs reached an agreement with free agent starter Marcus Stroman ahead of the looming lockout. According to Stroman's personal Twitter account, Stroman's deal is a 3-year, $71 million, and includes an opt-out clause after the second season. The 30-year-old Stroman entered the offseason ranked as the 9th best free agent on the market. Ooh, nice. Stroman spent last season with the Mets, with whom he amassed a 3.02 ERA and a 3.59 strikeout-to-walk ratio in 179 innings. Now, for his career, he posted a 3.63 ERA and a 2.96 strikeout-to-walk ratio in more than 170 starts. His production has been worth an estimated 18.5 wins above replacement per Baseball Reference's calculations. He is the second notable addition that the Cubs have made to their rotation this winter. Early this winter, they claimed left-hander Wade Miley off waivers from the Cincinnati Reds. They were going to decide Miley's club option and failed in their efforts to find a trade suitor. As our friends at CBS Sports previously reported, the Cubs had signaled publicly and privately they intended to spend money this winter to upgrade and update their roster. With Stroman coming off the market before lockout, the top remaining starting pitcher to be left-hander Clayton Kershaw, formerly of the LA Dodgers. Wow, that is fun. Can we go up just a bit? Thank you. So there you go. We have about 5 minutes left. Right now, actually, check that. We got 4 minutes left. At 11:59 p.m., for those of you who are just tuning in, at 11:59 p.m. tonight, the current collective bargaining agreement, the negotiated accord that governs almost every aspect of the working relationship between Major League Baseball players and team owners, will expire. Less than 2 hours prior to the deadline, owners reportedly voted unanimously to force a work stoppage on Thursday. They'll do so in the form of a lockout. As such, baseball players, and baseball itself will endure a work stoppage for the first time since the players' strike of 94-95. So that means that those of us who do a sports show on a nightly basis, we don't have to worry until February. So we're just going to call it not just a lockout, but a brief vacation. Let's go to the NFL Week 13 injury report. I hope they're all in. So here we go. Dallas Cowboys, New Orleans Saints. For the Cowboys, wide receiver Cedric Wilson is out with an ankle injury. Wide receiver Amari Cooper is on a reserve COVID-19 little brooch. Wide receiver Malik Turner is questionable due to an illness. For the Saints, linebacker Caden Ellis, a hamstring. Defensive end Tano Pascagon, ankle. Defensive end Marcus Davenport, shoulder. All three are out. Offensive tackle Taron Armstead, knee. Running back Alvin Kamara, knee. Offensive tackle Ryan Remisk, knee, are questionable. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Atlanta Falcons have not made their report available. Neither has the Arizona Cardinals and the Chicago Bears or the Chargers and the Bengals. Neither have the rest of the folks. So we'll have to wait till Thursday and Friday. Denny Lyons says, I have to admit I'm not that into baseball. Don't worry, because in about 2 minutes, we're all not going to be into baseball. Okay, let's get going here. Do we have any other headlines before we drop into some massive... Oh, we got to do a little promo here. Don't forget, folks, tonight on Nick Rekida's Lost Blaming the Interwebs. Obviously, let me just take a look here. There we are. We got to make sure we do everything properly here. All right, tonight on Nick's big old channel. Of course, Nick Rakita, the humble lawyer from Minnesota, has a great show. And it's obviously going to be about, I have no idea, advertises. But, here we go. Tonight, it's Greer, Melinda, Pokemoron, and abortions. Oh, my. That's tonight with the humble Minnesota attorney / lawyer / shock jock host, Nick Rakita, on the Rakita Law channel, Lost Blaming the Interwebs, at midnight Eastern, right here on the YouTube. And, of course, the Rakita Law channel. There you go. Okay. Let's get to some media splainer here. MLB insider Marcus Stroman broke the news that he has signed with the Cubs. Aw, too bad. ESPN's out of context quote graphic social media approach was ripped by Jay Williams, leading them to delete a tweet. Here's something interesting in the media gallery. The COVID-19 pandemic impacted most sports leagues in some way, but the shift from the Professional Fighters League was perhaps particularly notable. In April 2020, they made the decision to post their 2020 season entirely. And I hate to do this right now, but do we have our It is midnight on the East, midnight +1 to be exact, which means that we are officially, we who are baseball fans and those of you baseball purists and those of you not into baseball, we're on I might as well say it, we've been locked out. That's right. So we will try to keep you updated on the movements, if any, but right now, as it stands, even though baseball season, the spring training doesn't open until February, we are officially on lockout. Okay, so let's continue on here because we got about 30 minutes to kill, and we're going to kill it nicely. Let's see. The PFL postponed their 2020 season entirely, and they shifted the focus to studio and film content, including the launch of their own PFL Studio brand. And they prepared for 2021. And last fall, the CEO Peter Murray spoke to our friends over at Awful Announcing about how he was optimistic the studio shift would pay off. A year later, after the 2021 season did in fact demonstrate strong ratings growth, Murray spoke to Awful Announcing again. This time he talked about how the 2020 postponement and studio shift looks in retrospect how this season went and about the massive live events expansion the PFL is planned for 2022. First, Murray said that they're happy with the call they made in 2020 because it wouldn't have been feasible to do their full season under conditions that year, especially with their international fight roster. He said the original content launch and expansion was particularly important in keeping them in fight fans' minds and preparing the springboard for 2021. And it seems to work. The season was incredible. It was our best season since we've launched the PFL. Every year in our early stages is meaningful as we grow, and I'm proud of the team. I'm proud that we've secured the number 2 in the world in the sport in every metric. We're very proud of that. Well, I'm glad to hear that. So, one league is up. Yay. All right, by the way, for those of you who watched the Michigan-Ohio State game in the snow, well, it was a very big number for Fox. It drew 9.289 million viewers. Yes. Congratulations. Congratulations. Of course, we all know who won, Michigan over Ohio State, but in the ratings, it was Fox that won that. For those of you who love to gamble and who don't, Darren Rovell appears to have found his ideal platform at the Action Network. So it's no surprise that the longtime sports business reporter is staying put at the sports betting media outlet. Sports business coverage may no longer have a place in national outlets like ESPN, where Rovell, previously worked. It's probably viewed as too niche at a network such as CNBC, where they do business until about 8 p.m. Another of his previous stops, but the Action Network gives him a singular stage to be one of the top personalities in the industry. On Tuesday, he announced that he agreed to a new deal with the Action Network, though he didn't reveal details of his contract, much like reporters and columnists who have written why I'm joining the Athletic Post when joining that subscription-based sports publication. Rovell explained why he decided to stay rather than jump to a sports book, and it's very simple. He liked what he was doing. There you go. Okay, let's keep going. ESPN's 15th annual V Week is going to be extra special. 2020 marks ESPN's 15th annual V Week, which actually runs longer than a week. This year's event started Tuesday and will run through the Jimmy V Women's Basketball Classics on December 12th. ESPN using all its platforms to bolster awareness of and donations to the V Foundation for Cancer Research, which they help which they've helped raise over 142 million since the foundation's 1993 inception. A few things to watch for from a press release includes a tribute to Dick Vitale, a passionate V Foundation ambassador himself, who recently returned to the sports network airwaves following lymphoma diagnosis in October. You've got Jim Valvano's SB Speech Roadblock once a year. Nearly all of ESPN's platforms pause regularly scheduled programming and run the annual 15-minute Roadblock in support of the V Foundation. This year's Roadblock began at 7 p.m. tonight and highlighted the critical need for cancer research support, featuring a tribute to Vitale as he continues to be an inspiration in his battle against cancer, and Valvano's Don't Give Up ESPY speech from year one of the ESPYs. Fans of ESPN and StockX, the global platform for consuming and trading current culture products, include sneakers, electronics, apparel, accessories, and collectibles, have a chance to win celebrity sneakers and memorabilia during V Week through StockX's campaign for a cause benefiting the V Foundation. Sample of sneakers and items available include Drake X NOCTA X TaylorMade P790 irons, Kevin Durant signed Nike KD14 size 10 medium, Mike Krzyzewski's signed Nike LeBron 18 Duke PE size 13M, just among those that we can mention. The campaign has launched November 30th at noon and will run until tomorrow or later on at 11:59 a.m. Each $10 entry gives participants a chance to win the selected product, with winners selected randomly. Proceeds, of course, go to the V Foundation. Now, beyond that, ESPN will again be promoting the Stuart Scott Memorial Cancer Research Fund, which they and the V Foundation established in 2015 in memory of famed sportscaster Stuart Scott. That fund encourages cutting-edge research for African Americans, Hispanics, and other minority populations suffering from cancer, and it's already had notable impact. In 2015 alone, it awarded more than $2 million in grants. So we are proud, indeed. So there you go. There's a lot more. So please, for all of us, never give up and go do it, as they say. Okay, we are at 12:08, and let's get over to our international area and see if we can't stretch it out. You realize this is our final month of a rather decimatable year. We'll talk more about that in a bit. Premier League action: Southampton, Leicester City tied at 2. Chelsea over Watford 2-1. West Ham United and Brighton and Hove Albion tied at 1. Wolverhampton and Burnley tied at 0. Manchester City over Aston Villa 2-1. Liverpool over Everton 4-1. Ooh, nice. Women's World Cup qualifying: Norway blanked Armenia 10-0. In EFL Trophy soccer action, Hartlepool over Sheffield 3-0. Oldham over Sutherland 1-0. Crewe Alexandria over Doncaster 2-0. Ipswich and Arsenal tied at 2, with Arsenal winning 4-3 on penalties. Women's international friendlies: Costa Rica over Nicaragua 5-2. FA Trophy action was Guiseley over Ashton United 2-1. Marine and Bradford tied at 3, with Bradford winning 3-0 on penalty kicks. Spanish La Liga action: Real Madrid over Athletic Bilbao 1-0. Okay, and in Major League Soccer was New England Revolution and New York City Football Club tied at 2, with the football club winning 5-3 on penalties. Hurrah! Okay, let us get to more live sport. And my God, with no action to talk about, I may just have to do a little tap dance for a bit. Okay, in Italy, Bologna defeated Roma 1-0. Inter defeated Spezia 2-0. Milan over Genoa 3-0. Sassuolo and Napoli tied at 2. And Real Madrid. Oh, I've already done the Real Madrid thing. Okay, thank you, boys. Let's and over to basketball. Let's give you an update on the Clippers Sacramento Kings game. 11 minutes remain in the third. Sacramento over the Clippers 99-74. That isn't bad. Couple of updates from the NHL. 4 minutes remaining in the third period. The Anaheim Mighty Ducks lead the Vegas Golden Knights 4-3. And 2 minutes left in regulation. The Edmonton Oilers and Pittsburgh Penguins are tied at 2. Wow. In Czech Republic hockey action, Comet Brno over Liberec 4-2. In Finnish hockey, TPS Turku over Asat 2-1. In penalty shots, Hämeenlinna over Lukko 4-3, and Helsinki over Vasan Sport 3-2. In the World Test Series of Cricket, Sri Lanka leads by 40 runs with 7 wickets remaining in the second inning. It is Sri Lanka 204 and 89 over 3 to West Indies 253. There ye go. Yes, we've been talking about cricket. I know strangest things about sports. Do we really? Yes, we do know about the world of sports here, and we just try to. Okay, our well, might as well do a little discussion here. Usually, we don't wade into anything serious, but as you know, yesterday there was a terrible incident in Oxford, Michigan at a high school. A little shooting occurred in a high school, and try to get this to turn here so I can read it to you. 12 people passed, or 12 people were shot. 11 students, I do believe, and a teacher. 4 students have died. The 4th one died earlier this afternoon. And I gotta tell you something. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because y'all know Keith Olbermann used to be a sports guy from ESPN. Well, he has returned to his stinking, what I would call stinking stupidity moment, where he talks about something that he knows very little about. In fact, it's Keith Olbermann had, shall we say, a little brain fart today, and he is being raked over the freaking coals over his, shall we say, little blind statement about one of the young men. Do we have it? We should have it before anything else, because I want this quoted. There we are. Keith Olbermann well, let's face it, he is a redundant human being with no relevance. But this is what, let's first go to Barstool Sports. This is the tweet that brought Keith Olbermann to the, I guess we might as well say, the moron of the day. And it was from Barstool Sports. Quote, a high school football player rushed a school shooter and sacrificed his own life to save his classmates. The name of that student, by the way, we go over to the blog. for, it's just, let's hit the blog over here. Thank you. Tate Meyer, 16, was one of the 3 victims, now 4, who perished in the shooting at Oxford High School in Oxford, Michigan. Well, Keith Olbermann decided to put his 2 cents into it, and this is what he said, and I quote, "This kid died to stop a school shooter whose mother echoed the Trumpist fascism of Stool Presidente and Barstool Sports." Since that tweet, Olbermann is being raked over the coals big time by not only Barstool, but every decent human being in the free world, calling him a loser and a few other little statements. We'll read a couple of them for you. Barstool also put it up. Simply put, Keith is a gigantic piece of poo. We won't say the other word. Mike Sullivan used to work as the producer for the Mike Valeni show on 97.1 The Ticket, said it best. "You're pathetic, Keith." Dave Portnoy, who is the head of Barstool Sports, said, "Yes, I deleted a tweet, which I usually never do. Felt wrong letting Keith hijack a tragedy for his relevancy. Going to bed." Keith Olbermann, Joe Pagarulo from Houston, does a radio show, says, "Keith Olbermann is one of the lowest, saddest humans on the planet, period. We couldn't agree more." What occurred yesterday was, in my opinion, a wake-up call. It was the saddest, sickest, rottenest, vilest moments of violence. Why he did it is still a mystery. He's a 15-year-old. He's a student of the school. Why this 15-year-old decided to take up a gun and shoot some of his fellow students remains a mystery. He has refused to talk to the cops instead, as is his legal right to. He pled the Fifth, and as the Miranda rights say, he does have a right to remain silent, has a right to an attorney, etc. But for a man who used to have a career, I'm not even going to call him a man, for a jackass, and that is what Keith Olbermann is, a complete and utter jackass, to say what he said was wrong, stupid, thoughtless, and proves just how little a needle dick he is. If he wants to be relevant, why doesn't he just close his YouTube channel and go back to what he used to do for a living? Tell sports scores with a funny little humor and just sort of kiss the right butt. I guess we could say that Keith Olbermann, like late night comics, must miss a certain former president, because the present one we have ain't done anything funny. But when tragedies like this come, the insipidness, the insane, the brain dead, the garbage guts come out of the woodwork and spew what they spew. I'm not going to give Keith Olbermann another look. I'm not even going to acknowledge Olbermann. He, like the rare dodo bird, is extinct in this world. And I think it would be better if Keith Olbermann just retire, count his money, and live the life that he wants to live. Alone. And, well, maybe get a hobby. Like maybe be a lumberjack. Or, quite possibly, collect stamps. Or maybe, if not that, then work for a place that would be well suited to people like Keith Olbermann, like Newsmax or One American News. You would certainly never go back to ESPN. I mean, after all, he tried twice, and well, we all know what happened there. The sports world will continue to roll, and Keith Olbermann will continue to be a drooling lapdog for whomever will listen to him. Frankly, he has an audience of about 3, which will soon be down to 2. Keith's days, like that of Chris Cuomo's, well, they'll be, faded into the woodwork while the newest members of the sportscasting community come in, take over, and make people feel good, like we will. So, Keith, this is the last time we'll say your name, because quite frankly, we entertain. We would never stoop to the lowest form of fruit, to the lowest form of fruit, the lowest limb of fruit on the tree. You just wanted fame. You got your 15 minutes. You do what you want to do. We'll do what we love to do, and that's sports. It's just that, well, let's put it this way. We have fun doing it. We don't burn bridges, and we never will. I love doing this little thing for my friends, and I'm glad that they like what I do. I'm just happy to provide a public service because I'm having fun. Keith, you just do what you do. And when you get put in the straitjacket, we'll just turn our backs and we'll live. Anyway, that's the name of that tune. Anyway, this is what happens when you don't have much sports going on. But we do have some wrestling news for you, and we're going to end with some wrestling news. Yay! Wrestling! Yes, you can get away from your troubles when you do sport, when you go to a sporting event. How? Simple. You can scream and shout your lungs out. You don't get into much fights. And when you come out, your hair's a mess. You got beer spilled on you. But at least you're smiling. And you got a souvenir. A ball. Or a souvenir mug. So, folks, that's why we go to sports. Scream our heads off. It may bankrupt therapists, but it will make all of us feel better if we just go to a sporting event. Speaking of which, we promised you a little wrestling, and so we do. Tonight, AEW had Dynamite. We'll give you all the results without the BS. The first match was Bryan Danielson versus Alan Angels. It was pretty good. I both had some excellent shots, but Bryan Danielson once again made a successful win, stomping on a guy's head. Lee Moriarty versus CM Punk. CM Punk won with the GTS. Wardlow with Shawn Spears took on AC Adams in a squash match. Wardlow won that. The Gun Club took on Sting and Darby Allin, with Sting and Darby Allin the winners. Chris Statlander took on Ruby Soho for the TBS tournament quarterfinal match for the ladies championship, the TBS women's title. By the way, for those of you that do not know, AEW Dynamite will be moving to TBS, which originated wrestling over 30 years ago. It'll still be on Wednesday night. TNT will be getting 4 seasonal specials. In the spring, summer, 1 in spring, 1 in summer, 1 in winter, 1 in fall. There you go. Oh, we also got the main event had Andre El Idolo with Jose versus Cody Rhodes with Arn Anderson. Cody Rhodes, with a little help from his lady, Brandy Rhodes, won when he and Andrade smashed through a table. That was wunderbar. All right, here we go. Arn Anderson had a little accident when he fell off the stage during the beginning salvos of the main event between Andrade El Idolo and Cody Rhodes. And there you go on that. The Rampage, a new match and a match change were announced for Friday Rampage on TNT. Jade Cargill will be in action against Janai Kai on Rampage. Thunder Rosa will be on commentary for that. Rampage will also feature AAA World Tag Team Champions FTR taking on PAC and AEW World Tag Team Champion Penta El Zero Medro in a non-title match. Let's see. Unfortunately, the other half of the TNT Tag Team Champions, the Lucha Brothers, unfortunately, Ray Fennick has to miss Rampage due to travel issues. So there you go. Let's see. We won't give you any of the spoilers, so we'll just tip out. And we'll tell you that the semifinals will be Ruby Soho facing Nyla Rose in the tournament. The other semifinal, previously confirmed, Thunder Rosa taking on Jade Cargill. And the finals will take place January 5th when AEW Dynamite debuts on TBS. It'll feature the winner of Cargill Rosa taking on Rose and Soho to crown the first ever AEW TBS champion. That's going to be fun to see and to bring you. Okay, let's. We're not going to wrap it up yet. I want to complete the hour. We got about 7 minutes, so let's see if we can bring you here. And a little reminder that Bryan Danielson versus AEW World Champion Hangman Adam Page, it is now official. The title will be on the line December 15th in the Winter is Coming edition of AEW Dynamite on TNT. That is going to be fun to watch. And you remember Anthony Ogogo? Well, Anthony Ogogo made his return to the ring and made his entrance with the Factory's QT Marshall, Nick Camarado, and Aaron Solo. Ogogo got the knockout win for his team, and he hasn't been seen much due to eye surgery and a few other little things. But Ogogo is back with AEW, and we're glad. Right now, we continue. MLW's Opera Cup 2021 winner has been crowned. Davey Richards is now the 2021 Opera Cup tournament winner after defeating TJP in the main event of MLW Fusion Alpha. Also, I would not wait for Ring of Honor to restart in early spring of 2022. There are rampant reports that Sinclair may just put the promotion either on the or just put the for sale sign on it. We'll let you know what happens. And I do believe that. Oh, and Scarlett, by the way, Scarlett Bordeaux is doing is headed to OnlyFans. She teased the launch of an OnlyFans account earlier this week, but then told fans she's looking to launch the account in January. Scarlett and her fiance, Karrion Kross, otherwise known as Killer Kross, have multiple indie and convention bookings announced for the next few months. So congratulations. Hopefully, when their 90-day non-compete goes bye-bye, they will be back. That's right. Yay. Okay, and let's see here. Do we have any other news? Oh, Jim Ross has had, I do believe, 3. Jim Ross, do we have an update on Jim Ross, guys? We do. Let's do that before we say our au revoir. Jim Ross out of action till later this month. He undergoes treatment for skin cancer. He hopes to be back for the December 29th Dynamite show, which will be the last on TNT before they move for January 5th debut on TBS. Jim Ross continues to stay tough, and from all of us here at Sports Final, JR, kick cancer in the ass. We send our love, our support, and good vibes to you, sir. And that is going to do it. We have done it. We have done an hour. And we thank you folks for kindly dropping in. And we will see you tomorrow night at 11:35 p.m. By that time, we'll have football and more coming to you for all that. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you for the joining us in the chat, and we'll talk to you tomorrow night at 11:35. And by that time, or maybe in the beginning of 2022, I will download a thing like OBS, so I can do this on Twitch and other formats, or not format, other platforms, so I can have even more fun. And don't forget, December 25th, we go from sports to sports and entertainment, do a little weather, but no news and no blues. It's all going to be positive, fun, and funny. It's going to be called Steve's Sporty Balls, and I'm going to follow the idea from Mandy Summers, who kept saying, what you going to do on your Sporty Balls show? No, that's what I'm going to call it. Sporty Ball. Steve's Sporty Balls. That's right. So it's going to be fun. We're going to have more fun than a barrel full of monkeys on acid. So thanks, everybody, for watching. Trust me, I think everybody's going to like it. Now I'll say the ending because we got a minute left. This has been a presentation of Mystifying Creativity Productions in association with the L2C Media Network and L2C Sports. I am Steve the Baxman Baxley, and we are out of here. We'll see you tomorrow night at 11:35. Enjoy Nick Rekieta's show, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Good night, everybody.